Anyways, what do you think of my hair? Got it cut. It's very 90s, but hey, in this COVID world, the 90s are coming back. I feel it. Well, they would come back anyway. So anyway, how's everybody doing? I hope you're holding up. Hope you're keeping the faith. I wanted to talk about faith, but maybe we'll talk about that soon next week. I want to talk about something didn't happen in class, but this happened on Clubhouse. I was in this forum that was a forum about quantum healing and spirituality, and it was really interesting. Everybody was supportive, but there was a woman who asked this question, and I think she was undergoing a lot of personal duress. She told some anecdotal personal stories about herself and her life, and she was going through a divorce, and she wanted some clarity around conflict versus resistance. And I thought it was interesting because the panelists, they didn't really answer her question. It was sort of like, I love my sound effects. Yeah, it was cricket, cricket. And I felt kind of badly because hearing her ask about what's the difference between conflict and resistance, I had some thoughts about it, so I raised my hand, but I didn't get called on. And so I tracked her down and sent her a DM because I just wanted to suggest something for her to consider or think about it this way, or open up the maybe aha or the aperture around that topic. And I think what I wanted to say that I think is important for all of us to remember, because it does feel like, because of news media and the heightened sense of what we're living nowadays, everything feels like all conflict all the time. But I think we forget sometimes that conflict is life itself. The planet was born some 4.5 billion years ago out of a very conflicted chaos that forged the elements. And did you know for the first 100 million some years, our universe was not even, there was no oxygen, so it didn't even support life. It took a long, conflicted eons until the evolutionary aspect of you and I being here, from that first tetrapod walking out of the water. So that's all born out of conflict. And so it's a natural part of not only the genesis of life itself, but in our DNA, part of being alive. But there's a natural flow to it. And I think in terms of storytelling, when we think about conflict in acting, or when we watch things, or as a writer, but certainly for actors, conflict is what drives story. And so by staying in the conflict, we're going to get to the resolution. It's all about conflict resolution at some level for the people watching it, but for the participants in it, because we get to catharsis, healing, forgiveness. So there is a benefit to being in the flow of what conflict wants to show us. A lot of times we want to check out, and I get it, because conflict brings up so much stuff. So in life, not in our work, in your work you cannot avoid it, but in our life we can check out, we can withdraw, we can shut down, we can run away. But it's also kind of not breathing into this natural flow that conflict is. But that's different than resistance. Resistance is the fighting of this natural flow. Resistance is a negative reaction to this thing that is a natural part of your own evolution. I think also it's a natural part of your own emotional intelligence. The more we stay in conflict, because it's going to inevitably happen, and not resist it, which is hard, you will get to problem solving, solutions, healing, greater communication. It's really about surrendering and letting go into the resistance that you have around it. And of course, that doesn't mean accepting bad things. That just means the awareness of it allows you to be able to take action from a different place rather than fighting against it. So it's almost redundant. When we resist something, we're already putting more fight on top of what is a natural, I don't like the word fight, but a natural aspect of conflict. Okay, I hope that helps. I did DM that woman afterwards. I tracked her down, I stalked her, and I sent her a DM about, hey, you were so amazing, and here, by the way, is, what I think about conflict, and maybe this will help you. And I didn't hear back. It was sort of that. But anyway, I hope this helps everybody. It's great for me to remember that as well. All right, blessings. We keep breathing.